From spooking elephants with a single whisper to scaring off rare birds with your clothes, these are the 7 mistakes that separate a true wildlife watcher from a clueless tourist. Mistake number 7, getting too close for the perfect shot, the irresistible urge of a close-up photo. You see a lion resting under a tree, or maybe a curious fox trotting by, and your brain screams, just a few steps closer for the perfect shot. But here's the truth. Getting too close is the fastest way to ruin both your experience and the animal's peace. Wild creatures see proximity as a threat. Your presence could trigger aggression, or worse, cause them to abandon their territory or young. Why it's deadly. Animals interpret your body language differently than you think. What feels like innocent curiosity to you can read as predatory behavior to them. How to avoid it. Invest in a decent zoom lens. Stay inside marked observation zones, and remember, the best wildlife photographers don't chase moments. They wait for them. Patience always wins over intrusion. Mistake number 6. Ignoring the wind. Here's something beginners never consider. Animals can smell you long before they see or hear you. Imagine you're downwind of a herd of deer. They lift their heads, sniff once, and vanish. You never even saw them properly. That's what happens when you ignore the wind direction. Why it's deadly. Your scent carries like a warning flag through the forest. Predators and prey alike use smell as their first alert system. How to avoid it. Before setting up, check which way the wind is blowing. You can do this with a simple dust puff, a bit of grass, or even a small portable wind checker. Always approach from downwind, letting your scent trail away from the animals, not toward them. Pro tip, natural fabrics and unscented soaps go a long way too. Mistake number 5. Wearing the wrong colors. That bright orange jacket might look great on Instagram, but in the wild it's basically a neon sign that says, "Human here!" Animals perceive colors differently than we do. Some can only see certain wavelengths, while others are hypersensitive to movement and contrast. Why it's deadly. High contrast or reflective clothing can spook wildlife instantly. Birds in particular are incredibly responsive to unnatural colors. How to avoid it. Stick to earth tones, greens, browns, and grays. Avoid shiny gear, bright accessories, or anything that reflects sunlight. The goal is to blend in, not stand out. Fun fact, many experienced guides even cover their camera gear with matte tape to avoid glinting light. Mistake number 4, making noise. Even when you think you're quiet, most beginners don't realize how loud they actually are. The crunch of gravel under your boots, the click of your camera, even your whisper, it all carries through the wild like an alarm bell. Why it's deadly. Many animals can detect frequencies far beyond human hearing. That subtle Velcro rip or metal clink might sound harmless to you, but to them, it's the sound of danger approaching. How to avoid it. Before your trip, do a sound check. Test your backpack straps, camera equipment, and even your water bottle. Eliminate anything that jingles or rustles. Move slowly and deliberately, and remember, silence isn't just about being quiet. It's about being still. Mistake number 3, feeding the animals. It might feel magical to have a monkey take fruit from your hand or to toss a biscuit toward a curious raccoon. But this one mistake has devastating consequences for the animals and for you. Why it's deadly. Feeding wildlife teaches them to associate humans with food. Over time, that destroys their natural foraging behavior and increases human-animal conflicts. It can even lead to animals being euthanized for becoming problematic. How to avoid it. Keep snacks and trash sealed tight. If you want animals close, use patience, not peanuts. Let them approach naturally, and you'll witness authentic behavior, not desperation or dependency. One more thing, even natural food, like fruit or seeds, can harm species with sensitive digestive systems. Leave nature to feed itself. Mistake number 2, ignoring local guides and rules. You might think you've done all your research, maps, documentaries, blogs, but there's no substitute for local knowledge. Many first-timers underestimate just how valuable local guides are. They know animal habits, safe distances, and subtle warning signs that you'd never notice. Why it's deadly. Ignoring instructions or wandering off-path can lead to dangerous encounters, destroyed habitats, or hefty fines in protected areas. How to avoid it. Always listen to your guide. Follow the rules and respect restricted zones. Remember, those no-entry signs aren't just for your safety. They protect fragile ecosystems that can take decades to recover. Respect earns access. And in the wild, access is everything. Mistake 3-1, forgetting that you're a guest. This might sound poetic, but it's the most important lesson of all. When you step into the wild, you're entering their home. Too many first-time watchers treat it like a theme park, taking selfies, yelling, or trampling paths for a better view. That attitude destroys the very magic they came to witness. Why it's deadly. Disrespecting the environment erodes the thin line between human curiosity and environmental exploitation. How to avoid it? Adopt the mindset of a respectful guest. Move softly. Watch without interfering. Leave no trace, not even footprints if you can help it. The wild isn't a backdrop for your photos. It's a living, breathing world that invites you in on its own terms. Treat it that way, and you'll earn encounters most people never experience. Bonus mini tips, quick fixes for first-timers. Just before we wrap up, here are 3 quick habits that separate amateurs from true wildlife watchers. Use binoculars before cameras. You'll spot more and disturb less. Take a moment to observe behavior, not just species. Watch what they do, not just what they are. Journal your sightings. The best wildlife watchers are storytellers. They document, reflect, and share responsibly. Part 3, the outrow. Every animal sighting is a gift, but how you receive that gift determines whether it's magic or mayhem. Wildlife watching isn't about chasing photos or adrenaline. It's about learning to slow down, blend in, and connect with a world that operates on its own rhythm. So, as you prepare for your next adventure, remember the 7 deadly mistakes and flip them into habits that make you invisible, respectful, and unforgettable. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because our next video will reveal the 10 hidden signs animals use to warn you to back off. Until then, travel softly, stay curious, and always respect the wild. This is easily the #1 temptation for beginners, that urge to move just a little bit closer for a better photo. But here's the deal. The closer you get, the faster you ruin the moment. Wild animals have survival instincts honed over thousands of years. If you get too close, they don't see a fan with a camera. They see a potential threat. Why it's a problem? You could cause stress, make the animal flee, or even provoke defensive behavior. And honestly, no photo is worth that. How to avoid it? Bring a good zoom lens or binoculars. Keep a safe, respectful distance. Most parks recommend at least 25 meters for most animals, and much more for predators. And remember, the best wildlife watchers aren't the ones who chase moments. They're the ones who wait for them. And mistake #6, ignoring the wind. Here's a secret few beginners know. Animals can smell you long before they can see or hear you. If the wind is blowing your scent toward them, your presence is announced like a loudspeaker. They'll either vanish before you spot them, or they'll go completely still, waiting for you to leave. Why it's a problem? Smell is one of the primary senses for most wildlife. Being upwind makes you far easier to detect, which means fewer sightings and more frustration. How to avoid it? Before heading out, check which way the wind is blowing. If you can, move so that it's blowing from the animal toward you, not the other way around. A simple way to check? Toss a little grass in the air or use a small wind checker. It's subtle, but it can make a huge difference in how close you can observe wildlife naturally. Mistake #5, wearing the wrong colors. Bright colors might look great in selfies, but in nature they stand out like a flare. Wild animals rely on patterns, shadows, and movement to detect danger, and a bright orange jacket or shiny backpack can easily startle them. Why it's a problem? High contrast or reflective colors can catch sunlight and spook animals instantly. Some birds, for instance, are especially sensitive to unnatural hues like red and yellow. How to avoid it? Dress in muted earth tone colors. Think greens, browns, and grays. Avoid anything reflective, like glossy camera straps or metal water bottles. The goal is to blend in, not stand out. That's how you become part of the landscape instead of an intrusion. Mistake #4, making too much noise. It's easy to underestimate how far sound travels outdoors. The crunch of gravel under your boots, a zipper, even a whisper. To animals, it can sound like thunder. Why it's a problem? Many species have incredible hearing. They'll pick up the smallest noises and disappear before you even realize they were there. How to avoid it? Before you start your walk, do a quick noise test. Adjust your backpack so it doesn't rattle. Silence your phone and try to step softly. Move slowly, breathe evenly, and resist the urge to whisper. Human whispers are actually more alarming to some animals than normal speech because of the sharp sound frequencies. The key is to move with purpose, not rush. The quieter you are, the more nature lets you in,